Hi, friends. Happy Wellness Wednesday. I know it's late that I am finally putting this out there because I'm recording it late. I got a little uh, tied up over the weekend with a couple of events, as well as having a bit of a flare up of my fibromyalgia. All of this weather back and forth with cold and rain, and then no rain and sun, and then rain again. It's been doing a little havoc on my body. But ironically, what I was going to publish and work on yesterday, but I ended up being on the couch all day yesterday under a blanket. But the plan had been yesterday to show you what I've been working on for my own self care. So I'm going to kind of do a little bit about that. But next week in the video, I'll show you the final result, and you'll see what I mean in a second. So, um, I have started and stopped. I got this book. It's called, I don't know if you can see it, The Self-Care Planner. It's just a very plain book that my good friend Kathy got me quite a while back. I think she found it like Five Below and thought, oh, this is something interesting. And so she got it for me. And I have started it like four different times. So basically, what it is it gives you 12 months worth of things to do. And it even gives you a little space to write in like the whole, I think you can see it in this light, but the whole month, fill in your dates. And then at each week, it gives you something to focus on for your own self care. And so I keep starting it. And then so my next week I'll do my word of the year. My word of the year is perseverance because I keep starting things and just not finishing and not committing. It's not so much that I don't commit, it's that I let other things get in the way, is the reality. I allow myself to take on more things before I have fully integrated and taken on the new. And so things just keep getting left behind. And so this was one of them that I really wanted to do. So starting with the new year, I started with chapter 1, the first month here for January. And the theme of January is instill calm, which, especially from the weekend that I had, is something that I really need to figure out how to do in my life anyway. So I've been trying to do some different things. I think I've shared with you before. I noticed that I'm reading a lot less, which is something that I've always loved to do since childhood, but it's a sitting and being quiet kind of thing. And I think sometimes when I try to take those calming moments, it's not just being in the quiet, but take the calming moments where I just enjoy sitting and doing a quiet activity. I almost feel like I'm wasting time. Like I should be doing something. I should be doing laundry. I should be doing, all these different things that are lined up. I should be cleaning off my dining room table, which is a mess because I'm working on all my planners. I'm trying to organize my January planners and figure out what I want to use this year. And so they're all over the place on the table. And I look at it and think, I shouldn't be doing something fun or something relaxing or reading or whatever. I should be cleaning or doing something active. But, God always finds a way to tell us. And it's happened to me many times where God finds a way to tell me that it's time to pause. And so sometimes that happens to me, that I find those times when I get these aches and pains and I just really can't do a lot physically. And so what I actually did this last weekend, and a little bit the week before, except my cat was sabotaging me, is I started doing a jigsaw puzzle. Jigsaw puzzles are other things that I love doing. It's has always been one of my favorite pastimes. My mom and I used to do puzzles when I still lived at her house. She loved puzzles as well. And so we would have the whole dining room table taken up with these big puzzles that we would do. And so I loved doing them. And for a long time, I always had on my coffee table in the living room, always had a puzzle going. And then I stopped for a good portion of the last part of when we were from home, being home during the pandemic. I kind of stopped. And I think a lot of things, once we were able to go out again, I kind of stopped a lot of my quiet activities. But right before Christmas, a couple weeks before Christmas, I started a Christmas themed jigsaw puzzle. And then I never did anything with it. I would do all the edges. And then the cat would come the next morning. I'd wake up and half of it would be on the floor because she just doesn't like to see unfinished things, I guess. So the last week, over the weekend, especially, and last week with all the rain, this weekend, and then yesterday when I just couldn't do a whole lot and get up, really been working on my puzzle. And even though I have the TV kind of on in the background, it's been on to like shows that I've seen before, so it's just kind of background noise. But I've really been enjoying getting back into doing my puzzles. And I was reading yesterday, or this morning actually, I was reading a little bit more of this about being calm. about instilling calm in your life. And I thought, you know what? That's what this is doing. That's what these jigsaw puzzles are doing for me. They're kind of becoming almost like my mantra. So this book is very new agey in some ways, and so I kind of changed things around. So instead of like a calming mantra, I was doing prayer. I was doing nation type of prayer of quiet and trying to do that. And then I found that when I'm working on my jigsaw puzzle, my mind is actually able to go to that place where I'm not thinking of all the things that I should be doing, or my grocery list, or what's coming up tomorrow or this weekend, the retreat I'm doing, or all those things. That I'm really just kind of, my mind is able to relax as I focus on the pieces of this puzzle, as I look through them and try to figure out what goes where. And so it's really been a great calming moment for me to be able to do this jigsaw puzzle. So, in looking at that, I challenge you to take on something of that. What is an activity that you have that kind of calms you, even if you don't do it for a long period of time, even if you just do it for, 10 minutes a day, in the late in the evening, whether it's reading or knitting or needlepoint or jigsaw puzzles, or even just sitting and sipping on a cup of coffee and enjoying your backyard or the view out the window, or petting the pet that's on your lap. Whatever it is that you can do to find calm in your day is something that we all really need to focus on for our own well-being. It relieves our stress, and it helps us to remember that there are things we can do just for the fun of it. Just because they're fun, they don't have a specific purpose. It's not something you have to do, but it's something that you can do just to enjoy yourself and to find a little bit of peace in a chaotic world. So, just a quick message for you today. I'll look forward to seeing you next week. And until then, take good care of yourself.